Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak to you today about something far more powerful than mere ambition. Something that lies at the heart of every success story, and something that has been echoed across the pages of history by great thinkers, achievers, and leaders. This power is not external. It doesn't come from money, connections, or circumstance. It lies within you. I'm talking about the law of attraction and how, as Napoleon Hill so famously emphasized, it is the starting point of all achievement. When Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich, he wasn't just handing the world a blueprint for acquiring wealth. He was revealing something far more profound, the ability of the human mind to shape and mold reality. What you think about, you bring about. What you consistently focus on, you inevitably draw into your life. That is the essence of the law of attraction. It begins with desire, not a passive wish or a vague hope, but a burning, all-consuming desire for something more. Success does not come to those who wish for it casually. It comes to those who declare with certainty and emotion that they will have it. Hill called this definitiveness of purpose. Without a clear aim, without a firm direction, energy is wasted, scattered like the wind. But when you fix your mind on a specific outcome, the universe begins to align with your vision. Think about the radio. You don't get to hear your favorite station unless you tune into the right frequency. Your thoughts are that frequency. When you think positive, empowered, success-oriented thoughts, you are tuning into the same frequency as success. When your thoughts are laced with fear, doubt, and indecision, you are tuning into the frequency of failure and disappointment. The law of attraction is always working. It doesn't turn off. The question is, what are you attracting? Now let's break the myth that just thinking about success is enough. That's a half-truth, and it's where many people go wrong. Yes, thoughts are powerful. Yes, they are the seeds of everything. But thoughts alone won't change your life unless they are backed with belief, action, and persistence. Napoleon Hill was crystal clear on this. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. Without belief, even the most brilliant idea dies in the soil. But when you mix thought with belief and emotion, you plant a seed that nothing can stop from growing, provided you nurture it with consistent action. Success is not a lightning strike. It's a fire that starts with a spark and is fed daily with focus, faith, and effort. The law of attraction works in tandem with the law of action. You must act as though your dream is inevitable. Speak as though it's already yours. Behave as if the universe has already delivered, and it's just a matter of time before you see it in the physical world. That kind of alignment between thought, feeling, and action creates magnetic energy. It draws people, opportunities, and resources to you. Let me ask you something. What are you focusing on every day? What occupies your mental space? Because your dominant thoughts create your dominant reality. If you're constantly thinking about how hard life is, how much you lack, or how little progress you've made, guess what? That's exactly what you'll attract more of. But if you begin to see yourself already in possession of your goals, if you start celebrating small wins, if you focus on gratitude for what you do have, you shift the energy. You become a magnet for abundance, for progress, for new ideas and better outcomes. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." That isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a universal principle. You have to train your mind to see possibilities where others see problems. You have to retrain yourself to expect success, not fear failure. You've got to flood your mind with affirmations, with positive imagery, with the vision of what you want to create. If you allow doubt and fear to take root, they will grow like weeds and choke out your dream. But if you persist in your vision, despite the obstacles, despite the slow progress, you will attract the people and circumstances that bring that vision to life. One of the most powerful tools you can use is visualization. Elite athletes use it, world-class performers use it, you should too. Every day, close your eyes and see yourself already living your dream life. Picture the house, the car, the relationships, the work, the contribution you want to make. Feel the joy, feel the pride, feel the gratitude as if it's already real. Your mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and reality, and when your subconscious starts to believe it, your behavior starts to change. You begin to walk differently, talk differently, think differently, and that new energy creates new outcomes. But let's not sugarcoat it. There will be hard days. There will be times when everything seems to be going wrong. That's not the universe punishing you. That's life testing your resolve. Do you really want what you say you want, or are you just playing? Those who attract the greatest success are those who refuse to give up, even when there's no evidence of progress. They persist because they know, not hope, not wonder, they know it's coming. Remember this, the law of attraction doesn't bring you what you want. It brings you what you are. You don't get success by wanting success. You get it by becoming a person who attracts it. That means upgrading your habits, your beliefs, your mindset, your circle. You must think like, act like, and live like the successful version of yourself long before the results appear. That's the true test. Can you believe in the invisible long enough for it to become visible? Let's also talk about fear, because it is the great thief of dreams. Fear is natural, but it cannot be allowed to drive your decisions. Hill wrote about 6 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These fears dominate the minds of the masses, keeping them stuck in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and lives of quiet desperation. But fear cannot coexist with faith. When you feed your faith, your fear starves, and faith is what fuels the law of attraction. So, how do you build faith? Through repetition, through feeding your mind with empowering messages, through surrounding yourself with people who lift you higher, through celebrating every small win and reinforcing the belief that you are on the right path. Faith isn't blind. It's born from inner conviction, from knowing that you are a creative force in your own life. Every single thought you think is a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you choose to speak positively about your situation, you shift the tide. Every time you act boldly in the face of fear, you prove to the universe that you are serious. And the universe responds, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. The law of attraction is not just about material wealth. It's about peace, joy, health, fulfillment, contribution. You attract the relationships you are aligned for. You attract the health habits you believe you're worthy of. You attract the impact you believe you're capable of making. So raise your standards, not just in what you asked for, but in what you accept for yourself. Because life will meet you at the level of your expectation. As Hill emphasized, success is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of universal law. And universal laws do not discriminate. They respond to energy, to intention, to vibration. You cannot lie to the universe. You either radiate belief and power, or you radiate fear and doubt. And that vibration determines what comes back to you. Now, I challenge you today, right now, to make a decision. Decide what you want, get specific, see it, write it down, read it daily, feel it, speak it, act on it. Create a plan and start walking toward it with certainty, even if you have no idea how it will all work out. The how is not your job. Your job is to believe, to move, and to stay aligned with your vision. The universe has a funny way of opening doors for those who walk like they belong there. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for conditions to be perfect. Don't wait for everyone else to believe in you. You don't need the world's approval. You need your own. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate, the architect of your destiny. It all begins with what you allow yourself to believe. So believe in the impossible. Believe that you are worthy. Believe that your dreams chose you for a reason. Believe that the power that created universes is the same power working through you. You were not meant to play small, to blend in, to settle. You were meant to shine, to rise, to lead, to create. You were meant to succeed. And if you ever forget that, just remember this truth. Your thoughts are powerful, your emotions are magnetic, your actions are transformative. Align them, and there's nothing you cannot attract. The law of attraction is not magic, it is alignment. So align yourself with greatness. Align yourself with abundance. Align yourself with the highest version of who you are, and success will not just be a possibility, it will be inevitable. Definite desire and focused thought initiate the law of attraction. This principle lies at the core of every major success story and is echoed in the teachings of Napoleon Hill. He emphasized that success doesn't come to those who merely wish for it. It comes to those who desire it with all their heart, mind, and soul. Desire must not be a fleeting thought or a momentary want. It must be a deep, burning obsession. It must consume your attention and drive your actions daily. Without this intensity of desire, the law of attraction has nothing to respond to. The universe mirrors back to you the clarity and consistency of your thought patterns. Vague thoughts lead to vague results. Specific, emotional, focused desire attracts precise, meaningful outcomes. Most people go through life with wishes instead of desires. They say things like, "I'd love to be successful," or "It would be nice to have more money," but they never translate those wishes into specific goals backed by emotional conviction. The law of attraction cannot respond to ambiguity. It operates like a signal. Only when you send out a clear and constant frequency do you begin to attract circumstances and people that match it. Think of a magnet. It only draws in materials that resonate with its force. In the same way, your mind draws in conditions that resonate with your dominant desires and thoughts. Focused thought is where everything begins to take shape. You can't think of success once in a while and expect dramatic change. You must dwell in the state of your desired outcome. You must return to it repeatedly, intentionally, and with feeling. The law of attraction works through repetition. The more you think about what you want, the more deeply that desire imprints on your subconscious mind. And once your subconscious accepts it as truth, your actions, attitudes, and even your perception begin to shift. You start seeing opportunities where there were none. You start attracting people and ideas that align with your goal. You start building momentum, not by force, but by magnetic alignment. But it all begins with clarity. You must know exactly what you want. That's what Hill called definitiveness of purpose. If your goal is vague, if it's not written down, visualized, and emotionally charged, it doesn't have power. It doesn't have weight in your mind. And without that weight, your focus will scatter, your energy will dilute, and your results will remain inconsistent. The world responds to those who know what they want and are unwavering in their pursuit of it. Desire is also what keeps you moving when the path gets hard. It's what pushes you through setbacks, doubts, and delays. A strong emotional desire is immune to temporary failure. It fuels persistence. It keeps the vision alive in your heart even when the outer world shows no sign of progress. That's when the law of attraction really begins to activate. When you continue to believe, focus, and desire in the face of obstacles. Your consistent thought is like a seed, and your desire is the water that nourishes it. Keep feeding it and it will grow. Belief and action are essential to turn thoughts into reality. While desire and focused thought set the stage, without belief, those thoughts remain powerless. The law of attraction doesn't respond to empty wishes or half-hearted hopes. It responds to conviction, to the deep, unwavering belief that what you desire is not only possible, but already on its way to you. Napoleon Hill emphasized that faith, when mixed with desire, creates a mental state so powerful that it influences the subconscious mind, which then influences behavior, habits, and external circumstances. Belief is the fuel that activates your internal power. Without it, the engine of manifestation can't start. Most people are held back by self-doubt. They want something, but they don't truly believe they can have it. They're influenced by past failures, limiting beliefs, and the opinions of others. This doubt creates resistance in the energy they send out, which weakens the signal they broadcast to the universe. The law of attraction is neutral. It reflects what you believe, not just what you want. If your dominant belief is that you're not good enough, not ready, or not lucky, then your outer reality will mirror that belief. On the other hand, if you believe deeply that success is inevitable, that you're capable, worthy, and supported, then that belief forms the foundation for extraordinary change. But belief alone isn't enough. It must be followed by action. Action is the physical expression of belief. When you truly believe in something, your behavior reflects it. You start taking steps, you start making moves, you begin to act like the person who already has the life you desire. This action, especially when done consistently and with faith, signals to the universe that you are serious, that you're ready, and that you're aligned with your goal. The law of attraction works through vibration, and nothing raises your vibration faster than decisive, aligned action. Hill said that faith must be strengthened through repetition. This is why daily affirmations, visualizations, and writing out your goals are so powerful. They help you build belief over time, especially when you're just starting and your old conditioning still holds some weight. You must convince your subconscious of the truth of your desire, and that takes mental discipline. It's not enough to hope once and walk away. You must live and breathe your belief until it becomes second nature. Action also builds momentum. Even small steps matter. When you take action, even imperfect action, you begin to move energy. You start creating motion in the direction of your desire. You meet new people, gain new insights, and discover new opportunities. These things won't happen if you sit still, waiting for the universe to do everything for you. The law of attraction isn't about sitting and dreaming. It's about aligning your thoughts and emotions with action so powerfully that the universe can't help but respond. When belief and action work together, your desire becomes a living force. You begin to think, feel, and move in harmony with your vision. That harmony creates the conditions for manifestation. Without belief, thought is empty. Without action, belief is wasted. But when all three combine, thought, belief, and action, you become unstoppable. You attract not what you want, but what you are. This is one of the most profound truths of the law of attraction, and one that is often misunderstood. Wanting something, whether it's success, love, wealth, or happiness, is not enough to bring it into your life. Desire is the starting point, but you must become the person who matches the energy of that desire. The universe does not respond to your wishes, it responds to your frequency. Your frequency is determined by your dominant thoughts, emotions, habits, and self-concept. If you want to attract something different, you must become someone different. People often say they want success, but internally they are filled with doubt, insecurity, and fear. They say they want abundance, but they constantly focus on lack, complain about money, and believe wealth is out of reach. This internal state contradicts the desire they express, and as a result, they continue to attract more of the same struggle and limitation. You cannot attract a high-frequency reality while operating from a low-frequency mindset. The law of attraction reflects who you are being, not just what you're saying. This is why self-image is so important. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, who never catches a break, who isn't lucky or smart enough, then your external world will match that identity. But if you begin to shift your self-image, if you begin to see yourself as worthy, capable, confident, and aligned with success, your world starts to shift too. It's not about pretending, it's about transforming. You have to do the inner work to change how you feel about yourself, because everything you attract flows through that self-concept. The energy you radiate is magnetic. If you're operating from a state of joy, gratitude, and empowerment, you naturally draw people, opportunities, and experiences that match that vibration. If you're operating from stress, frustration, and fear, you continue to meet resistance, setbacks, and toxic cycles. Becoming a match for what you want means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with the version of you who already has it. Ask yourself, how does that version of me think? How do they speak? What do they believe? What choices do they make? Then begin to embody those traits now. Not someday, not when things change, but now. The change begins internally. When you elevate your standards, improve your habits, and speak life into your goals, you raise your vibration. You begin to attract different outcomes because you are showing up as a different person. That's the essence of true manifestation. You don't chase the things you want. You become the version of yourself who naturally receives them. The law of attraction responds to your state of being. That's why mindset, emotional mastery, and personal growth are so essential to success. You must shift from being a passive dreamer to an intentional creator. The more you align your inner world with the outcome you desire, the faster that outcome begins to take shape in your external world. It's not magic. It's alignment. You are the signal. Change the signal, and the response must change too. Visualization and emotion amplify manifestation power. These two elements are the accelerators of the law of attraction. When used consistently and intentionally, they transform your desires from abstract thoughts into emotionally charged mental experiences that begin to shape your external reality. Napoleon Hill emphasized the power of imagination and emotionalized faith because he understood that the subconscious mind responds most powerfully not just to thoughts, but to thoughts that are felt deeply and repeatedly. Visualization allows you to mentally rehearse the life you want to live. Emotion injects energy into that rehearsal. Together, they create a magnetic force that draws your goals closer to you. When you visualize, you engage your mind in a creative act. You mentally step into your future as if it's already happening. You see the environment, the people around you, the details of your success. More importantly, you feel what it's like to be there. You feel the pride of achievement, the freedom of financial abundance, the excitement of doing what you love, the peace that comes from living your truth. That emotional energy is key. It's what gives your vision power. Without emotion, visualization is flat and ineffective. With emotion, it becomes a living experience that the subconscious begins to accept as real. Your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between a vividly imagined event and a real one. That's why visualization is so effective. When done properly, consistently, clearly, and emotionally, it conditions your mind to see your goal as already accomplished. It starts to create pathways, ideas, and confidence that support that new reality. You begin to act in alignment with the vision you keep replaying. You begin to notice opportunities that match it. You begin to attract circumstances that reflect it. This is how inner vision starts to reshape outer reality. Emotion is the fuel behind it all. It's not just what you see in your mind, it's how you feel about it. Feelings are vibrations. The stronger and more positive your emotional state, the stronger the frequency you emit. This is why gratitude, joy, confidence, and love are such high vibrational states. They amplify the signal you're sending out. When you feel as if your goal is already real, you raise your frequency to match the result you want. That frequency alignment is what draws it into your experience. It's not about wishing or hoping. It's about being in that emotional state now, even before the result shows up. That's why people who live in a state of constant stress, fear, or negativity find it difficult to manifest their desires. Their emotional energy is misaligned with the reality they want. You cannot attract abundance from a mindset of scarcity. You cannot attract love from a heart filled with resentment or self-doubt. But when you choose to shift your state, when you deliberately generate positive emotion through visualization, you begin to change your point of attraction. The more often you visualize your goal with clear, rich details and strong emotion, the more you condition your mind and body to live in that state. Eventually, it becomes normal. And when something becomes normal internally, it begins to manifest externally. Visualization is not daydreaming, it is focused mental training. And emotion is not a side effect, it is the amplifier that makes the vision magnetic. Faith over fear is the foundation of success. This principle is vital when applying the law of attraction because the energy you project is shaped by your dominant emotional state. If fear, doubt, and worry take up more space in your mind than belief, confidence, and hope, you create resistance to your own desires. Napoleon Hill taught that faith is a state of mind that can be induced by repeated affirmation and conviction. It's not passive, it's a choice, a discipline, and a habit. Fear is natural, but if you feed it more than your vision, it will dominate your thoughts and begin to influence the direction of your life. Faith, on the other hand, opens doors, raises your vibration, and aligns you with the frequency of what you truly want. When you live in fear, you're unconsciously imagining negative outcomes. You're visualizing what could go wrong, anticipating failure, and creating emotional responses that signal to the universe that you expect loss, rejection, or hardship. This becomes your point of attraction. The law of attraction doesn't judge, it simply reflects. If your dominant state is fear, you attract more circumstances that reinforce that fear. It becomes a cycle of limitation. That's why breaking free requires intentional faith. Faith is the ability to believe in what you do not yet see. It's the choice to feel peace before the result appears, to trust in the process even when you don't have full control, and to move forward even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Faith empowers action. It gives you the courage to start, to persist, and to take bold steps toward your desires. Without it, you hesitate, second-guess, and retreat. With it, you trust your instincts, take inspired action, and build momentum even when progress is invisible. Faith doesn't require you to have every answer. It requires you to align with possibility, to expect good things, and to maintain your inner certainty despite outer uncertainty. That's how the law of attraction responds when your energy reflects belief rather than doubt. Faith is built through repetition. The more you affirm your goals, visualize success, and emotionally connect to your desired outcomes, the more your subconscious mind begins to accept that version of reality. You begin to rewrite old patterns of fear and create new neural pathways rooted in confidence and expectancy. Over time, faith becomes your default. And when that happens, your entire energy shifts. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently. You make decisions from a place of power instead of panic. Choosing faith means you no longer react to circumstances with worry. You respond with vision. You stop giving energy to what's not working and start directing your focus toward what's possible. That mindset shift is everything. It allows you to rise above challenges, stay grounded when life is chaotic, and continue attracting opportunities that match your belief system. Faith makes you magnetic because it keeps your vibration high and steady. It removes the emotional noise that blocks your clarity and power. And in that quiet certainty, the law of attraction begins to deliver results that match the strength of your belief.